What is up, everybody? I'm your host, Berkan
And I'm Adam.
And together with our combined superpowers of pack knowledge, we have a BA in packs.
That's right.
That's right. Welcome to episode 2. We made it. Good start. So far, so good. We didn't give up after 1. That's always a win. First of all, thank you guys for tuning into our first episode. It did really well on YouTube, which was a really awesome surprise. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and not booing us and being super positive. Some of you guys have reached out to me, you guys were super kind, which was just really amazing and a pretty good feeling going into the second episode.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. We're really excited and hope that we can keep the pace up. I know we will.
Yeah, and like I said before, it's only going to get better from here, which is good because our first episode started off with a bunch of 5-star ratings. Thank you guys so much. So if we're only getting better, man, we're going to break the podcast system there. Well, we have a great episode planned for you guys. We're going to talk about some new product releases, some breaking hobby news. I got the inside scoop, and then Adam's got some super special stuff that he wouldn't even tell me about. So I'm going to be listening right there with you guys. And then I believe some of you guys might be interested to find out some giveaway winners. So we'll end with that. But with that being said, today when we're recording is Wednesday, April 14th, which is a big release day in the hobby because 1, NBA Origins has been released, and 2, National Treasures football came out today.
That's right. The meaty, big monster product. It's been around for a while. It's pretty awesome set. And I've already seen some of the breaks. I've already seen some of the footage of it. It looks pretty sweet. I like the base cards this year. I feel like they did a good job. It's not just white cardstock with a picture on it. It's nice.
Yeah, I watched a good chunk of the 4-hour stream from Leighton Sports Cards because you just know that these days, if a big card's going to be pulled, it's going to be from Leighton Sports Cards. I don't know what it is about them. They just seem to
Luka luck.
They just seem to pull the biggest cards on like the first day. So definitely checked it out, and it was pretty intense. There's some really cool like treasure chest booklets. The cards do look sweet. They do.
Yeah, they look cool. I mean, it's definitely, most of the times in these kind of products, you're looking for the RPAs and the sweet mem and the autograph cards. But I actually, like I said earlier, like I like the base set too. Like this could be a fun set to put together as well if you've got the time.
Yeah, National Treasures. One thing I've always liked about National Treasures is that if obviously they have the big rookie RPAs and the big rookie cards that have some insane price tags attached to them, but there's also some like cards that kind of go under the radar that most people don't expect. Like with basketball this year, I had like this dream of picking up National Treasure RPAs, or not RPAs, but just patch autos of different Mavs players from that 2011 championship roster. So I was able to pick up like Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, JJ Barea for super like low prices. Like everything I picked up to them that was like a patch, like a nice patch auto number to like 25 was like less than $50.
Yep. You and I have the same dream. We're going to put together a little wall of our one championship with all our auto mem cards.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Sean Marion kind of ruins it.
Yeah, he didn't have much. All of his stuff is rookie autos. They even came out with, I think it was Inception, maybe. I can't remember which product it was that had Deshaun Stevenson even.
Oh my gosh.
Mavs jersey autograph this year.
That's the new holy grail.
Yeah, that's right. He's out there looking.
How's my dirt taste?
Yeah,
man. But yeah, also what came out was NBA Origins, and I didn't tell you about this. I participated in a break for NBA Origins this morning.
Cool.
This afternoon, and not too shabby. I did 2 breaks. I did a Prism break and I did an NBA Origins breaks, and for some weird coincidence, I got the Sacramento Kings in both.
Nice.
In my Prism break, I got a Halliburton, a regular base, but the Origins, Halliburton is on its way to me out of 2 of 60. So I'm
like
pretty
a base
excited.
or auto?
No, just a regular base card.
Oh,
no auto, cool. But it's in that same break though. It was funny, and this is going to kind of tie in to our next segment with our breaking news. Which, by the way, before I say this, the Origins base cards look phenomenal. They really do look really great. but you said something about them being kind of repetitive every year.
It's the Madden. They're the Madden
The Madden of the hobby.
And I mean, you like them. I mean, they're cool, and I like them. They're artistic. They're fun. But yeah, they're basically the same every year, which is okay. I mean, if you're ever gonna make like if they were ever gonna make a old school like they used to do in the 90s, like a team set of every team, I would want it to be in Origins.
Yeah, I saw the Luca base for Origins, and I think I'm gonna spend the $12 to probably get it. Yeah, I mean, it's just a base, but it looks so nice. I wonder if I could find a Dirk Nowitzki in Origins. Yeah, by the way, speaking of Dirk, his like Prism card for this year looks pretty cool. I like it. It's like,
oh yeah, he's got like the crazy hair.
He's got like the arm sleeve, the classic arm sleeve.
It's the first time in a
brace,
while.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time in a while they've made a card where he's not like shooting a free throw or like standing to inbound the ball.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
I do really like it. It's pretty cool. But anyway, what I was gonna say is during this break of Origins, there was a redemption pulled. And the redemption, I feel like everyone kind of holds their breath these days in basketball breaks if you're breaking for 2021, because when the redemption is pulled, I feel like every single time it's been Lamelo Ball. Like he's been one of the few guys who actually had redemptions, which is something I appreciate that they've kind of limited how many players are doing redemptions right now.
Yeah, even in COVID.
Yeah, I've been so surprised with it. But basically the guy flipped it over super fast, and it wasn't Lamelo Ball, excuse me. It wasn't Lamelo Ball. It was like Michelle Flynn, whatever, Toronto Raptors rookie. I don't know his name, but there's just this huge wave of disappointment, and it was just a funny thing that happened just because everyone now expects a Lamelo Ball redemption, and just crazy that it wasn't.
It's the first time you see anybody get upset when they didn't get a redemption.
Yeah, in a little bit. But basically, speaking of Lamelo Ball, we have some breaking hobby news. So what's not so breaking news is Lamelo Ball has been injured. He has a fracture in his right wrist, and a lot of people didn't kind of connect the dots. That's his signing hand, and all of his stuff are redemptions. And so I was in my local card shop the other day, and we mentioned it the last episode, they pulled the 101 from Absolute. And then I went back a few days later, and then I pulled a Lamelo Ball redemption, which was insane. I'm so mad that I didn't film it. But we were talking about it, and I asked him, I was like, so did you guys already redeem it? Because I saw you guys listed it on eBay, but I was surprised that you listed it. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to hold on to it. And I talked to Panini. This is his quote, not me. I talked to Panini, and they said to hold on to it until the start of the next season, because he's not going to be signing for a long, long time. And so breaking news from Panini, if you have a Lamelo Ball redemption, don't redeem it until the start of the season.
Breaking news from BA and PAX, you mean?
BA and PAX, breaking news. Getting the inside scoop. But yeah, I mean, they literally said like 6 months. It's obviously everyone's kind of waiting a long time, but 6 months.
That's a long time. I mean, I've been waiting for some redemptions in football for quite a while, and I'm pretty sure it's because the person's not signing. But it is what it is. But this is he can't sign. I mean, he actually cast.
Can't. Yeah, so 6 months until they like start bringing it to him to sign, or sending him the stickers, because everything this year is a sticker auto.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy. And then who knows when you actually will get the card back. So what I did with my redemption is I didn't listen to them, and I actually went ahead and redeemed it, because I have a theory that I'm curious about. And by the way, if you just heard my puppy in the background, he says hello, and he says thank you guys for listening. I don't know if you can hear it, Adam, but I heard it clear as day. So, but anyway, I went ahead and redeemed it because I have this theory. If you guys haven't checked out my last Panini, I have 2 videos on the channel, Panini redemption videos, where I've sent replacements, or I've gotten replacements back, and I've been in contact with Panini throughout both those processes, and it came back really well for me both times. In fact, both times were better than my original redemption. So I was curious, what could be better than a Lamelo Ball rookie auto right now? Luka Doncic, indeed. So I'm curious. I went ahead and redeemed it because I am welcoming the 120-day redemption replacement warning telling me like I need to replace it or just keep waiting. Because the moment that happens, my dog's excited about the Luka possibility too. The moment that happens, I'm literally going to go to my Panini rep and be like, hey, I will wait for LaMelo, but what are the chances I can get a nice Luka auto? I don't even care if it's a rookie auto, to be honest.
Or Deshaun Stevenson auto.
You're right. You're
You can
absolutely right.
complete your Mavs.
Equal value.
Your 2011 Mavs collection.
I will gladly replace this Lamelo Ball auto if you guys can give me that incredibly rare Sean Marion Mavs auto.
There you go. Call them in. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm hopeful. I know I can definitely get a white box out of it, but I don't really want to risk the biscuit there and try to get a 101 from someone else. I really just want to see if they honor that Luka Doncic request.
Yeah, you might get like a Malcolm Brogdon 1 of 1.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I can't risk that. But I can risk the possibility of just something better. I mean, seriously, Panini does such a great job of replacing your product with something better. Like the classic Giannis 99 Noir redemption I had. They gave me a Giannis auto out of 25 from National Treasures. So
yeah, if you don't believe him, go back and watch the video. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
this guy knows the right people. So if you want to message in, if you want to comment, he'll get you the right people.
It's true. I'm not shy about it. In fact, I literally clear as day tell you who to contact and exactly what to do in those videos. So It's on you at this point.
Yep, it's on me. I'm holding out for my CD Lamb Prism draft auto and my like 4 Marquise Hollywood Brown autographs that are from almost 2 years away now.
I'm telling you, you can. I guarantee you can almost work in a nice OU because you're a boomer guy.
Yeah, oh yeah. Maybe I can work a Baker Mayfield rookie auto or something.
Or just like a sick bowl patch of CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, there you go.
Or hey, we're both UNT guys. So you got a UNT draft guy coming in.
Hey, yeah, Jalen Darden. I'm all over him, man. If you are looking for somebody that other people are going to sleep on, if you're in a fantasy draft that's going to be a keeper league, a long-term one, Jalen Darden is going to be a stud. He is tiny, and he went to North Texas. Tiny, like he's not 6 foot tall. He's 5'7". 5'7" and a half, something like that. But he weighs 170 pounds. Stance. Yeah, but he's quick as heck. And my favorite quote, I'll leave with talking about him. My favorite quote that he has is "Slow feet don't eat."
Slow feet don't eat. Brilliant.
Yeah,
man. What a time! A UNT winning a March Madness game and a UNT player getting drafted.
We have the longest streak. Yeah, we have the longest streak in college football of not having a player drafted. So this will break that streak for sure, unless something crazy happens.
What a good year. Plus, fun fact, I'm graduating from UNT very soon.
Go Mean Green.
Go Mean Green. I'm not allowed to do that in this house. I have been brought into the Baylor, Sick 'em Bears Nation. So I'm not allowed to do anything except to sick 'em.
Yeah, well, whatever.
All right. So something I want to bring to this series and to this show is I want to talk about like things that we pick up just as a way for you guys to get to know us and kind of figure out where our head's at. I just sprung this on Adam. So if he doesn't have anything he picked up this week, that's totally fine. It's, it is what it is. It's a hobby, you do it when you want to, and it's supposed to be fun. This week I dove into an eBay rabbit hole as well. And I think I got some pretty cool stuff. I actually I packed it, so I'm not going to get it. But I actually picked up a Zion Williamson Optic PSA 9 for like $60 something.
What?
Yeah, it was a pretty nice find. I was shocked, and I was like, how do I not do this? And literally the moment I bought it, I went and comps are selling for like 95, 100 bucks, something like that. Exactly. What a deal. The eBay rabbit hole is a real thing. And also I was inspired by our first episode, and I actually went ahead and got a Devin Booker rookie card.
Oh, see, what's funny is I was looking at Devin Booker, but also looking at Mitchell. And I saw some of his mosaic prism rookies and was looking at that and some of the other things I was watching.
Mosaic.
I was watching them. That's about as much as I do. I'll pull the trigger here and there, but doing a lot of eBay watching. I told you I was looking for some nice Dirk color.
Yeah.
Some Luka. One of those sets that I really think is underrated is the of 1819 is the threads. The insert, the
Yeah.
rookie insert of the jersey, those jersey inserts, the Luca ones are freaking awesome looking.
Yeah.
The even I was even looking at like, I was thinking Jalen Brunson. He's had a great season. Obviously, Mavs homers here, but he's undersized, but he's a winner, man.
Yeah,
And he's having a good
scrappy.
season.
Yeah, he is scrappy. He will get to the basket. He does have a lot of. It's funny. Every time I go to a Mavs game with my dad, Jalen Brunson has like the worst game possible. So my dad
Yeah.
thinks he's just terrible.
He's
And
going to be one
like,
of those guys that gets traded or moves on after free agency, I think, and
Yeah,
will,
I think so too.
He'll be like Kyle Lowry. He'll be like a long-term, point guard in the league, I think. I mean, he is undersized, but he's scrappy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I was mentioning, Devin Booker, I did pick up a Devin Booker. I picked up a Court Kings. I don't know if they're doing levels in 2015, but I did a Court Kings for like $40, $43.
Awesome.
So not too bad. Like I said, like we said, his Prism was like 200 something bucks right now. So $45 or $43 for Devin Booker rookie right now. It's pretty cool.
You'll have to save it and do a little mail day action.
Yeah,
during one of our casts.
That is true. And before I'm going to finish up my rambles and let Adam kind of take over here in a bit. Before I do that, I wanted to end this little segment with a card that I think people should be looking at. I don't know why most people aren't, but judging by the Phoenix Suns' success, I don't see an issue with looking into DeAndre Ayton. If that's something you guys are into, if you guys are in it for the quick flip, DeAndre Ayton's a pretty good person to look at right now. He's going to rise in price just by association. Suns win a couple playoff games, listed on eBay, done. His rookie silvers for Prism go less than like $60. So
yeah, they've got a good young group. Cam Johnson's another guy, and I get what's Bridges, Mikal Bridges, right? Isn't he?
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah. So they got a good young core of guys that could easily, jump the charts as far as pricing.
Cam Johnson, Panini Rewards actually put out an auto from NBA Hoops premium of Cam Johnson for like 250 points, which is nothing for Panini Rewards. So, that's like the equivalent of, I think, $10.
Yeah.
So, some good finds there. All right. I've spoken enough. Adam, take it away.
All right. So this is where I get to ramble on. So one of the things that Berkan and I had kind of talked about a couple of weeks ago was the 90s and cards and some of the awesome inserts and different things that are going on in the 90s. And so I thought, let's ramble into it. Let's get into it. I thought about, there's a lot of videos out there. There's a lot of comments and a lot of things talking about how the state of the hobby today, and everyone's got an opinion. I thought rather than dive into that, I'd kind of dive into the history of the hobby and how we got to where we are. And, I've always been a collector. I've always been involved in sports, and not always buying product, but, always involved. And so I think I'm going to do this 3-part series here. Series part 1 today, and part 2 next week will be a little different, and then so on. So this week we're going to talk a little bit about Fleer and Skybox. I think it's a kind of a good way to break it down by the brands, so that we can see kind of how they've impacted the hobby as well. So, we talked a lot about all the different things that are coming out now, but these are some of the past, kind of an oral history, if you say. I'll probably make some mistakes, so I'm sure people will call me out if they were involved in the hobby at that point. But also kind of show some of my personal collection, and then some other cards as well, to talk a little bit about, to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So yeah, part 1, I guess the biggest question is, what sport, Berkan, drew you into collecting?
I was actually thinking about this the other day, because fun fact, I filmed a collection video to release actually pretty soon. I think by the time this episode's out, the collection video will be out. So go watch it. But I was thinking about it the other day because of that. And when I started, surprisingly, it was Derek Jeter baseball.
Yeah.
I remember I was at Primrose Daycare And the thing was to bring in your trading cards and just make some trades.
Right.
And I love playing backyard baseball. So I constantly used Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter in the game. So I wanted some Derek Jeter cards. So I went and I asked my dad if we can go buy. And I think I was on the Derek Jeter hype for like a week, which is a long time
When you're
for
a
a
kid,
first grader. Okay.
you're
And then
dating yourself.
well, yeah, I am. Sorry. Surprise.
I'm dating myself for this too. So
This whole series is Adam dating himself.
yeah.
But yeah, so it was baseball for a week and then it went on to be basketball just so that I can find some cool Dirk Nowitzki cards, which
Yep.
was the hardest thing for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, similar. I grew up collecting, and when I was really little, when I was really young, I was in the kind of the big part of what a lot of people call the junk wax era. You may have heard that. That's basically, I'm not going to talk too much into that, but that's basically, all these card companies came together, not together, but they all overproduced product. Really, baseball was the beginning of it, basketball, some football, a little bit here and there. But it went from like the 80s, the mid to late 80s, all the way up to like 93, 94 in that time frame. Within that time, I started collecting baseball cards. I think that was, because that's kind of what started everything for a lot of people. And I got kind of bored of baseball. I do like baseball, but basketball really kicked in for me in the 90s. And so this kind of series will focus kind of on the 90s. I think the 90s had a significant impact on the way the hobby is today. And two brands that kind of carried that in are Fleer and Skybox. Next week, we'll talk about Upper Deck and Tops. And then in series 3, the last part of the series, we'll talk about Donruss and Playoff and Panini. As we see it today. So with Fleer and Skybox, a lot of people know Fleer from today, from the Jordan rookie, the 1986. The Holy Grail, the Mona Lisa.
Not to John Stevenson, the true Holy
Grail. Yeah, the true Holy Grail. Yeah. So 86 was actually Fleer's first year of producing basketball cards. And so they kind of came out guns blazing. I mean, and that set kind of fulfilled every checkbox that you would have for a 90s 80s era card, the borders, the action photos, and kind of clean design, that almost the matte almost finish for the card. So beautiful set. And I think it's beautiful mostly because of all the players that are in it that are stars. But that's how a lot of people know Fleer. They don't really know that much more if they've just joined the hobby or if they've been collecting for the last few years. But Fleer and Skybox were both part of that kind of junk wax era. And, basically cards were available everywhere. Every store that had a point of sale area where you could buy stuff had trading cards. And 7-Elevens, Targets, anything you could think of, grocery stores, they had almost all of them, even like Blockbusters and stuff. That's trendy 90s stuff now, right?
Blockbuster doesn't surprise me, but gas stations?
Yeah, like 7-Elevens and stuff had baseball cards and basketball cards available to purchase. Hobby stuff wasn't really that much of a thing yet. I mean, pretty much everything in that era was what you would call today retail. So that Fleer was involved in that, and Skybox was involved in that. And Skybox really got started just a hair later. They were mostly different collectibles. They would do weird kind of quirky things like milk caps and things like that. And then they jumped in, they were a little bit more diversified. So they did basketball cards, but they also did a lot of your kind of entertainment cards. So most of the entertainment cards that you can think of from the 90s, like especially like Disney ones, was Skybox. So they did like the Lion King sets, the Pocahontas, and all those little fun sets that my brother, who's 9.5 years younger than me, was collecting. So they did a lot of that, and that was kind of the two different places. Skybox, their basketball cards were fun at the time, and even now you look back, they're kind of fun. I have some, but I didn't bring them here. I'll have to maybe add them in, but they were basically white cards with like the 91, 92 Skybox was the first basketball cards that I really bought or spent my allowance on. I think they were like 75 cents to $1 a pack or something like that, maybe a little bit more.
Don't brag.
Yeah, $1.50. But they were like white cards with like, I remember the Magic Johnson one. It was him like dribbling the ball, and behind him was like was imposed like a bunch of like arrows, like neon yellow arrows. It was like if you took the shirt that the people in Saved by the Bell wore, or the like cup, the like token 90s water cup that has the design on it. And that's like what the backgrounds were of these cards. So they were kind of artsy, but kind of quirky in their own way. So that was the kind of sets that they made. And here's the crazy part. So Skybox, that set, that 91, 92 set, guess how many cards were in the set?
95.
Try 659.
Jeez. All right. Bye.
659 card set. It was 2 series and all in 1 year, and no inserts. It was all like subsets and stuff. And so it's just crazy the amount of product there was. That's just one set. So this is all kind of going on in the early 90s. And that's when our biggest player, I think, comes in with Fleer and Skybox and has a massive impact on the hobby. And this is kind of the surprise that I don't know if you know about, but I think you'll think is interesting, hopefully. The big player that came in was Marvel.
Really?
So,
Actually,
yes.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They're kind of starting to appear.
Yeah. So Marvel actually purchased Fleer. So they bought, so it wasn't, they did, of course, Marvel cards, but they bought Fleer in 92. And there's a lot of debate. I actually did some research on this because there's a lot of debate as to how much they spent and paid for Fleer. Because in 92 was still the peak of the, everybody loved trading cards, and it was like the coolest thing on the earth. And, it was the peak. And so they bought Fleer for $265 million.
Casual, just a flawless box.
And that's according to that's 10 flawless boxes and a couple of National Treasures boxes in today's money. But I did research to make sure that according to the New York Times, $265 million was
a big deal.
Yeah, that's a lot in 92. And then in 95, just 3 years later, Marvel purchased Skybox.
Didn't they go bankrupt in the 90s too?
Yeah, and that's what I was going to go to. So they spent all this money on these card companies. So they purchased Skybox for about 150 million. So they spent almost $400 million, a little over $400 million purchasing these 2 card companies. So now we've got Fleer and Skybox are one company. It's Fleer, / Skybox. And they went kind of crazy with them. And in a good way. I mean, they had a huge impact on the hobby. It's amazing to think that a company like Marvel would get involved in the sports cards. And then, of course, they utilized the printing and the things that Fleer and Skybox were good at for their own, comic book cards and things like that. And you've seen a trend of those starting to become really popular.
Yeah, I've been searching for some deep diving for some Spider-Mans.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I've got some of those too. So, but yeah, so they did a lot of that stuff. But they also, this is the tail end, kind of towards the end of the junk wax area, but they're still overproducing everything.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Marvel did that was really good for Skybox and Fleer and ultimately for the hobby is they championed 2 different things. The first one was the need for an insert set, the quality for chase cards. So this is, when in 93, 94, 95, in that time frame is when, your first like chase cards, your first inserts, your first, things that you would get 1 in 12 packs, 1 in 25, 1 in 36, 1 in 48, 1 in 144. And I'm not even joking. They actually had like 1 in 800, 1 in 7. I mean, true, like impossible to get chase cards, like really, really cool. And the thing is the thing that Skybox was really good at the time was these really artistic, fun cards. And they would make some really cool chase cards, inserts. So one of the sets that everyone knows now, of course, we even talked about, was Hoops. So Hoops used to be a Skybox set. It was called Skybox Hoops.
Yeah.
So so they were pretty boring cards. I was going to show you one and bring it, but I thought it was just too boring. I mean, they're really boring. So but their inserts were great, were beautiful. And they used a lot of new technology. One of the new technologies that they had was acetate cards.
Yes.
So they were the first ones to really
So they started it.
acetate and put it in there in the inserts. They also did a lot of other neat things. So then the next thing, so that's the first one. We'll talk about that in a second. The second thing that they championed, that Marvel did a good job championing in this period of time, was the need for a hobby style product, a high-end product. Fleer was kind of already going in that direction when they got purchased. With Fleer Ultra, started, I think, Fleer Ultra baseball and then basketball, of course, and that's higher end, like cardstock, a little bit thicker, way better photography, and gloss.
So
Like
so let me
gloss.
guess. You said Fleer Ultra, right?
Yeah.
High end hobby box. I'm gonna go with $40, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think at that time it was probably like 60 or 70, but yeah,
Gosh,
maybe
a
less. I
dream.
can't remember.
A
But
dream.
I tried to look, I was like Googling that to see if I could find any, but nobody's got anything like that. You know, you can see
Yeah.
what they go for now. But yeah, so Fleer Ultra, and then from Fleer Ultra, they developed even a higher end product called Flare. And Flare was cool because it was super thick cards. So, I mean, what we would consider like normal probably for like a high end product was their like thickness, like maybe 50, 30, 50 point, something like that, thickness, and super gloss, as well as like foil stamping. And the neat thing about Flare cards is they were actually like a box. It was like boxception. It was like box within a box. So the packs were not like packs that you rip apart. They were little boxes that were shrink wrapped with the cards like neatly placed inside. And then you would, open it up and box. And it was really well done and well put together. So they designed these products that were meant just for hobby. And they started that. And then with that, so we go back to that two-tiered approach, or to the insert approach. And so the inserts that they created, one of them that was really popular was, I think, like Skyview or HoloView or something like that, that they made, that Skybox put in hoops. And the people at Fleer, Skybox, and Marvel together decided, you know what, let's make a product. Let's make a premium product where the entire product looks like an insert. So where the entire set looks like a card that would be like 1 in 100 to get. And then the inserts that we make, we'll make them, super, super premium as well. And we can, obviously charge more. We can create this hobby end product, this high end stuff. And I mean, this is like $8 to $12 a pack, maybe more, pretty significant price point at the
Significant.
time. Yeah, I mean, comparatively to like $2 or $1.50.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Something like
Absolutely.
that.
It just
Probably
hurts to
more,
hear right now.
right? And so one of the first sets that they did that with was Skybox EX 2000. And so I've got a couple here, and I'm going to show. So this, of course, Michael Finley.
Of
This
course.
is one of the first like sets that used acetate as part of the card. So you see that's actually a shine. That's not color. That's a shine. There's a little color behind it. And this is like one of the first sets that I thought looked like a work of art.
Yeah, that's really cool.
acetate. It's like let me see if I can get it an angle where you can see it, but you can see through the kind of the background mosaic window.
Yeah, I was wondering if I can see like some coloration of you.
Yeah. So it's basically clouds in the sky. I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And every card looks like that's a base card. That's not an insert. That's the base.
Wow.
So then with that, they also decided, hey, you know what? As a response to the junk wax area, let's make numbered parallels. So this was the first time really that you started getting, printed, stamped, numbered cards, serial numbered cards. I mean, it happened before, but this is in bulk. So here is a parallel from that same set. It's called a credentials version, and it's silver, as you can see, the pink and the silver.
Yeah.
And all the credentials are silver, and they're numbered to 499.
Wow.
This is a 1996, 97 season. So of course, all of this technology and all this new stuff's happening during arguably the best NBA draft in history.
Yeah, one of the hottest drafts in history. Crazy.
Yeah, with Kobe, Iverson, Ray Allen,
Nash.
Yeah, a lot of amazing players.
Man.
So this is going on. So that's just one product. And then they even stepped up their game with Fleer. That's Skybox, obviously. Fleer, Skybox, same company. That's Skybox. So this is Fleer. Fleer did something that they've never done before either. They started it in 95, 96 with metal. So these cards are super thin. I mean, they're probably the thinnest cardstock that you can get, which means they're super condition sensitive. And I have here, this is a Kobe rookie from 96, 97.
metal. What's really cool about these cards, they spared no expense as far as like the product development. I mean, that looks like a truck bed metal liner and a truck bed, and then it's all embossed. So I don't know if I'm even in a good spot where you can see it, but you can see I'm trying to catch the light. So you can see that the name is embossed, and even on the back, you can see the kind of the embossed where the name is. So it's really cool. So this is another awesome set. And this was pretty much a retail only set. They sold it in hobby too, but another really cool set was the Fleer metal. And so metal became an iconic, as well as EX, an iconic sets in the 90s. And with those numbered cards, you have in 97, they kind of elevated 97, 98. Here's one, a Tim Duncan rookie, Metal Universe. So
we're not supposed to like him in this channel.
Right. Yeah. This was probably the most iconic set of the 90s for basketball. Not just because of this. I mean, they went berserk with the idea of universe. He's holding like a pulsar or something, like a star or something.
The OG Origins.
Yeah. But the back even looks really cool, like the design of the back, like a spaceship or something. But what made this set so popular, another set with really thin cardstock, I mean, it's just so thin, was the numbered parallel that they created. So it started the craze. Precious metal gems is what it was called. They were numbered to 100. So the only difference in a precious metal gem, well, there were two. The first one is that the background where it's pink here with Tim Duncan would be red. So they've treated it so that it would be red, super condition sensitive, but numbered to 100, but really not even numbered to 100. They're actually numbered to 90. Numbers 11 through 90 were red. Numbers 1 through 10 were green.
Oh, okay.
Green precious metal gem, and they said precious metal gem on the top, was the chase card of the 90s, the insert set, the subset, whatever you want to call it, of the 90s. They were the first ones really to start the rainbow trend that we have today. But yeah,
the zebras and dragons.
Yeah, the zebras and dragons and peacocks. Oh my. But yeah, the precious metal gems. I mean, if you look it up, if you Google it, if you look at it, if you don't already know, I mean, I know this is kind of what started us talking about precious metal gems. And if you have one, they're amazing. I mean, it doesn't matter who the player is. It doesn't matter if the player played for 1 year, or if it's Michael Jordan. There's a value in it. The set is valuable.
You were trying to get Michael Finley's. Right.
Yeah, I was trying to get them next year. The 98, 99 Michael Finley one was a little different, but a precious metal gem. And I can't remember how much it sold for, but it made me want to cry a little bit. It was a lot. It's like 1,000 something.
Oh, geez. Okay. So I don't even want to ask my next question, but that means there's a Dirk precious metal rookie out there, isn't there?
I think so. I can't remember in 98, 99 what the Dirk rookie looked like in metal. But yeah, so I don't know if they made a rookie print run for that set. I'll have to look. But yes, if so, then yes.
I don't even want to think about it.
Well, here's something else. So even before the hobby turned into what it is today, even before the boom in 2020 and I think it was late 2018, early 2019, a green precious metal gem. So that's a number to 10, the first 10 of Michael Jordan sold on eBay for over $300,000. So this is pre-boom.
That's more than what Marvel paid for Fleer.
No. Marvel paid $265
million. Never mind.
Yeah,
I am wrong.
But $300,000. And the crazy part about it was certified through PSA, but it was certified altered. So what? Even with a certified altered tag, that's how rare these cards. I mean, it is literally, if your Jordan rookie is your holy grail. The crazy thing about the Jordan rookie is that Jordan rookie, there were thousands of them, thousands upon thousands printed. There were 10 printed of the precious metal gem screen. If one of those popped up in an auction now, I can't imagine what it would go for, comparatively speaking. So I digress a bit, but yeah, that concept of printing numbered cards is something that they really pushed. And a lot of the other products, really kind of learned from as they rolled through in 98, 99. They produced 96, 97, 97, 98, 98, 99, I would say, are the glory days of Fleer Skybox. They created some really cool sets. Here's my literally my favorite set from those years is Fleer Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful cards. I've got a couple to show you. I'll show this one first because everybody loves Kobe. But so this is from 98, 99 Fleer Showcase.
They were beautiful cards. There's artwork.
Yeah, that is amazing. I don't think I've seen that before, actually.
Yeah, imagine
wow,
a company that makes comic books. I mean, they have the tools and the techniques and the artists to come up with to oversee something this beautiful. So this is just one tier. So the cool thing about Flair Showcase was that they were tiered a lot like Spectra is. So you had multiple versions of each card that had different styles. And this was also a set that brought us numbered parallels. So here's one of the numbered parallels from the 98-99. Of course, it's Michael Finley. This is one of my personal favorite cards. It's in a giant holder. I need to change it, but it's a legacy collection. Yeah, it's sick. So that blue kind of mark, that is the logo, but it's blued out legacy collection. And these are numbered 2. This one's numbered 99. So they were numbered from 199, somewhere depending on the year. And these were premium as well, as you can imagine. So 96, 97 is when that product started. They're a little thicker cardstock. They went through 98, 99, and then they changed them after that. But they were the first ones. Fleer, did you know moment, was the first ones to come out with a 1 of 1. So they're the reason why we have 1 of 1s.
Oh, no.
And it was Fleer Showcase, and I don't have one. I wish I did. But Flair Showcase had what they called 1 of 1 masterpieces.
Man, 101 masterpiece. I like the sound of that. Why don't we always call them 101 masterpieces?
They should. Yeah, it even said on the back, it said this is a 1 of 1 masterpiece. Man, it was pretty awesome. So that was something that they, in 98, 99 and 97, 98, they developed through all of the suite of their products. And Fleer and Skybox was the numbered parallels. In Fleer Ultra, it was a platinum medallion numbered 100, and they had, I think, masterpieces as well. So it was a really cool concept. Unfortunately, all the ingenuity, all the new designs and everything costs a lot of money. And even though the market was doing really well, Marvel was, like you kind of foreshadowed earlier, going through, they were just struggling. They spent too much money, did too many I think they spread themselves a little thin. And and so financially and in other ways. So they actually declared or filed for bankruptcy. Now, it was more of a restructure, but part of that was selling off Fleer and Skybox.
Yeah. So yes, obviously they did sell then. But yeah, and they also just completely nuked their core base of characters, and they just you get some characters to all these different studios, and I never knew Marvel got involved. I never knew.
Yeah, so they sold Fleer Skybox in 98, 99 season. So basically this was in the middle of the basketball season. It was literally around the trade deadline. And the crazy thing about the hobby at this point, a lot of the hobby had kind of fallen apart a little bit because of the baseball strike in 94. That was kind of the token end of the junk wax era. And in 98, 99, you had a strike, or not really a strike, but a shortened season in the NBA, which is kind of sad because it shortened Dirk's rookie year and Vince Carter's rookie year and things like that. But you
got 20 and a half more good ones.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But they sold more Fleer Skybox to a private entity for about 10% of what they paid for it.
Jeez.
So, 98, 99, it was a company, I think it was a father-son duo, and the dad, it was a former, he started basically I think it was called Rite Aid. It was a company like Walgreens, like a drugstore company. Huh. So I'm assuming he was a big fan of the sports card industry, and that's why he and his son started it. And I can't say that they ran it off a cliff or anything like that. That wouldn't be fair, but they definitely
didn't do it any favors.
Yeah. They took what Marvel had already kind of done, and they kind of escalated it. Kind of like the movie quote, that escalated quickly, and products started just whizzing off of, if they thought about it, it came out. And I mean, literally if you go down the letters of the alphabet, I could probably give you all the products that came out with that letters within the 99 through 2000.
Jeez.
I mean, they had Fleer Force, Fleer Focus, Fleer Tradition Glossy, Hot Prospects, Skybox Dominion, Skybox Premium. I mean, it was just everything every single year. Fleer Impact, Fleer Futures. I mean, it was just crazy. It was hey, this product's not selling. Let's make another one and change it just a little bit. And that'll, they blurred the lines between retail and hobby again. So it was a big mess.
This was also the period of time that memorabilia cards were starting to become a huge thing. They were one of the first, Fleer and Skybox under Marvel were one of the first ones to really incorporate autographs throughout their sets. So that was going. Redemptions became a thing during this period of time for the hobby, not just for these products, but for other brands too. We'll talk more about that in Tops and Upper Deck next week. But it was crazy. I mean, they were just going nuts with everything. And the thing that they didn't realize, I think they kind of bit off more than they could chew, was the fact that all this game use memorabilia, because it was all game use. There was no like,
player worn.
This person put it on for 2 seconds and then,
Oh man, wait.
That's my
let me read
heart.
this. Let me read this quote.
Read
this
it.
is from a card that Justin Herbert that I pulled.
Yeah.
That's not live when we're doing this, but of course is live to you now. So another video you guys should go see. My last random hobby packs as BD packs. But this Justin Herbert card out of 99. The back says this enclosed authentic memorabilia is not from any specific game or event.
Right.
So they have to add event there.
Yeah. So this was
like,
in the 90s and early 2000s. That was the real deal. I mean, these were game worn, or at least that's, my naive heart says that they are, but that's what it said. At least I know there were other companies that were flashes in the pan that cheated the system and went out of business because of it. But Fleer Skybox, I mean, their products, they were purchasing real memorabilia for all their sports. So that was a significant new cost that they didn't account for. That paired with the bazillion amounts of products for each sport that they were producing, they couldn't afford to do it anymore. I mean, by 2002, Fleer Skybox was like strugglesville. I mean, they were no money, super debt, just a tough deal. I think they were going to sell. I think they were trying to sell. The rumors that I heard at the time and I later have read was that Upper Deck offered to buy them in like 2002 or 2003 for like 25 or $30 million. And they were like, no, that's not enough. They were a little cocky there, I guess. History will say that, I guess. But I think they didn't sell and they kept going. And I think the only reason why they didn't fold then is one person, and that's LeBron.
Good old LeBron,
the rookie class. This, I mean, honestly, until from 96, 97, 97, 98, 98, 99, decent rookie classes. From 99 on to 2002, the rookie classes were some of the worst ever. Arguably the worst rookie class in the history of basketball was 2000. It was bad. I mean, there were some great college players, but a lot of injuries, a lot of just rough. Yeah. But in 2003, you got LeBron, you got Wade, you got Bosh, you got Melo. You got a good squad. So I think that kept them afloat a bit until 2005, and everything literally came to a screeching halt. It was like in the hobby, and that was the internet had kind of come into play now, and was a part of the hobby, and message boards and Beckett.com and all that stuff. And I remember, I had outstanding redemptions. This was back in the day. You would literally write out all the redemption, your information, and mail it in. And mail it back. Yeah. And so, and they would do redemptions for rookie cards. So like, I remember 98, 99 basketball season, Dirk rookie, you didn't know what team would drafted him. So you had like pick number 7. I still have one of the redemption cards. I'll have to go find it.
Yes, please. I'd love to see that.
Pick 7. And it was just this like shadow of a player shooting. And it was like, when they make the pick, you can redeem this and we'll give you whoever they pick 7.
Kind of like what Select Hobby does, where you get exactly. Redemption and it's like QB5, QB1. Yep. And it's not, I didn't know this until recently, because I always saw the autos. I didn't know that they were just regular base cards too.
Well, and these were like literal base cards. These were like matte finish or gloss finish base card, Wild. So anyway, they had redemptions for everything. So we've all got redemptions. 2005 comes and there's rumors that Fleer's about to go out of business, and the rumors became a reality. They folded, they declared bankruptcy, but not like Marvel did. They declared bankruptcy like, we're liquidating everything that we own and we're done. And so they had a giant auction and they literally sold everything that they had in back stock. So now all the things that Panini gives out for honors and all the different products and the redemption stuff,
they had all that stuff laying around. It got sold in auctions. So one of the crazy things, you can go on eBay now and you can look for old Fleer stuff. You'll find all kinds of weird stuff. Like if you're a player collector from the 90s that's not named Jordan or Kobe, because none of that stuff's going to make it out of anybody's collection. You could find stuff like jersey cards that are missing the swatches. You can find like cards, whole sheets of cards, like that EX set. I actually saw one the other day. It was an entire sheet of that set, of the credential set, that wasn't stamped, that was uncut. Just a whole bunch of weird stuff like that, missing serial numbers, all kinds of things like that. Upper Deck bought Fleer, but at that point, there was not anything left of Fleer Skybox. They basically paid for the name and the rights to use the logo and everything for Fleer. And they were like, okay, whatever, Skybox, we're going to use some of the things that they did in the past. And then, they shut them down. So, I mean, it's a long journey and it's a crazy journey, and we're going to go, next week we'll talk about tops and Upper Deck. I hope you guys, like going down the little rabbit hole of history. I think it's good for the hobby, for us to know a little bit about what has happened, so we can, look into the future, and hopefully we don't make the same mistakes. I'm at the end of each series, I'm going to do something kind of cool. This is a set I think that I would highly recommend if you're a fan of Marvel, if you're a fan of basketball as a whole. This is from 96, 97 Fleer metal. So this has Marvel written all over it. I mean, it looks literally looks like the adamantium from Wolverine all over. This is a subset, not even expensive. It's called Metalized. If you want to put together a fun set, there's a Jordan one of these as well. But this whole set is pretty cool. This is Kevin Garnett. But yeah, if you're looking for something fun to do while you can't find packs or product, search on eBay, find a fun, try to put together a set like this. Is pretty cool. So yeah, next week we'll talk about tops and Upper Deck, and we'll go forward. Let me know if you like content, and yeah, we'll see.
And that was crazy. A lot of that I just had no idea. So thank you for taking the time and doing the research. And please let us know if you enjoyed that, and if you can't wait for Adam's second installment of his trilogy that's brewing up here. But yeah, that's amazing. And your conversation of like Fleer, 86 Fleer, I really quickly have to do a shout out to someone who really inspired me to kind of like dive deeper into the hobby when I kind of resurfaced a few years ago. His name's Russell. He's my soon-to-be father-in-law. Awesome. But he has this amazing Fleer collection of 86. Like I would into like I deep dove, whatever the grammar is. I dove into his collection and I found this amazing book, and it was a complete collection of that 86 set.
Wow.
And I was just like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, I mean, some of the cards were taken out, but that's just because they were like graded or something like that, or displayed somewhere. But it was just, I had never seen a complete set of that. And he had 86, he had 87, he had the stickers. It was just, it blew my mind. So shout out to him. Maybe he'll let us show it off one day on the channel. That'd be pretty cool.
With white gloves.
With white gloves, just in its own metal case. We'll get like a robot to like telepathically move every page. It's pretty incredible. It will take your breath away for sure. Great conversation. I think it's time to announce some giveaway winners. And while I'm pulling this up, I want to say my goal for this, if not every episode, and I think every episode is possible just because there are some branches, some forms of packs that aren't that expensive. I kind of want to open up like a random pack. It doesn't have to be basketball or football, but I want to try to open up like a random pack because we are BA in packs,
right?
So something fun, just something like random. I think that'd be cool. So that's my goal. I'm going to hold you guys accountable to keep me accountable.
I've got a stash I can grab too. I'll look for some old school stuff.
Amazing. We're on to something here. All right. So for our winners, if you haven't followed my TikTok at BD Packs, give it a follow. Check it out. The name will be changing soon to BA in Packs, like the Instagram and Twitter. And actually, Twitter's already been changed to BA in Packs, so go follow us on Twitter. But I do giveaways occasionally, and I want to try to do giveaways every other video and stuff like that, just as a thank you guys for reaching out and watching. And so this week I did 2 winners. I did a winner for going and downloading our podcast on Apple Podcasts and leaving a review. So thank you guys thank you to those who did it. And a ton of you guys did this one. I did a contest or giveaway for you to go to our YouTube channel, check out the first BA Impacts video, leave a like and a comment. Thank you guys so much for doing that. So like, I think we got like 63 comments, which is amazing. Thank you guys. That really blew away my expectations for the first video. I didn't think it was going to do that well. And then you guys really just kind of blew it up. So thank you, seriously. But I have some winners. So first, the basketball, the YouTube giveaway winner is Jay Fisher 12. Thank you so much for viewing. You have won a good stack of NBA rookie cards. Congratulations. And I actually did 2 winners. So we actually only had 2 reviews for the podcast. And I really do appreciate it. And I didn't think it was fair to just 50-50 it. So I wanted to give both of them something. So I kind of took the rookie card stack and I split it. And I randomized which one got which, but thank you to, I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce this, Chassis 122, CHISE 122, and then Michael Bird. Thank you guys so much. You are our football winners. Please reach out to me. You have 1 week. You have until episode 3 of BA Impacts comes out to claim your prize. So thank you guys so much. I'm looking forward to personally hearing Adam's second installment of his little deep dive into history, the hobby history. Oh man, look at that card.
We're gonna give this away next week.
What? A code? Can I enter?
No.
Man, look at that card.
This is a Fleer EX 2006-7
NBA basketball. Kobe Bryant. I think this is like a $70 card or $60 card, maybe more. We're gonna give this away next week.
Gee, I'm speechless. That is beautiful. But yeah, now you guys know to tune into this episode. Leave a like, a comment. Let us know what you guys think. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching BA Impacts episode 2. I'm Berkan.
I'm Adam.
And we'll see you guys next week.